It's good to be scared as a fighter. If you're not scared, man, like it's really hard to believe you're not scared. I'm always have some sort of fear going into my fight. I'm always thinking about me getting knocked out. Like every fight I've gone into, I'm always like, damn, what if I just get knocked the fuck out cold, or what if I just get finished like this or submitted within this? Like, there's always going to be that some sort of fear, but that's what's going to help you focus in the fight. That's going to help you make. That's what makes you you as a fighter. If you come in there fearless, you're going to make it's either you're gonna make a mistake because you think you're have the best chin in the world, and all of a sudden you get clocked once, and all of a sudden, boom, you're out cold. But it's good to have fear, man, in a fight. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, man, let's jump right into it. March 5th, UFC 272, full arena, Las Vegas, fight capital of the world, full training camp. Fighters, they spend their whole careers at the apex. You in your second fight, you get to go to the T-Mobile Arena. No complaints, am I right?
Not at all, man. I asked for the to be on the Volcanoxian and what do you call it, and the Holloway card, which was supposed to be for that, and then the entire card got just completely changed. And now we have now the Colbington and Masvidal, so I can't complain, man. T-Mobile Arena is going to be it's going to be a huge honor to be to be on in that stage and have the actually a crowd be in the UFC be cheering, which is going to be absolutely insane. So I'm looking forward to that energy.
The Mexican American community, right? Like I know boxing is just huge. You know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, I grew up around a lot of Mexicans and Mexican Americans. But MMA, man, is it that big in the community, or is it still like not? Most people prefer boxing.
I would say it's a lot bigger now. Probably not before, but now it definitely absolutely is, man. You have so many Mexican American fighters that are up and coming. I know a lot of people just around my area. And I mean, you look at the UFC now, man, you're seeing that some of these guys are Mexican and American, and then all of a sudden you got the Hispanic crowd right behind them. And I think it's getting bigger just due to the fact that it's being shown on Univision now, which you have Combate Global, kind of like expanding that horizon for MMA in that community, in that part of the aspect. But then you have a Mexican champ, Brandon Moreno, who definitely paved the way now, for that to be a bigger thing for Mexican Americans, around the area and the community.
Yeah, and Cain Velasquez before that,
Yep.
and you got Ortega doing his thing,
So
and
many
then
fighters, man.
yeah, it's just
So many
growing.
fighters.
Yeah, just growing, man, growing. Yeah, and it's that like and mostly based out of California too. It's
Hmm.
Arizona a little bit. Like you got Cejudo. He's also
Yep.
from Mexican background too, man. Hey, it's only getting better, and you're part of the new wave, so let's do it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I definitely agree with that shit, man. Considering that I fought for a Spanish organization for quite a while in my career, uh, the crowd in Mexico is insane. When you're fighting out there, that's probably the loudest I ever had, and out of any, not, we'll see what happens now in the UFC, which is a lot different. Way way bigger crowds. So I'm looking forward to that part like the most.
Your opponent, man, coming up, Devonte Smith, exciting guy. He's known for his knockout power. What do you see in him and the matchup?
Um, he's very he's very in and out of fighter. Has a really really strong 1-2 jab and a cross. Has a nice left check hook. He has a left switch lead head kick that he likes to set up to, and he likes to bait people in, man. He like comes in and out, and likes to have he invites you to come in, makes you make mistakes, and make you chase him, and then he pops you in with that 1-2. And we have a game plan figured out for him, and he's gonna create some. It's gonna get used to. For me, the thing that I need to get used to is having get used to his speed and explosion, because I know he has that. And timings are going to be everything. I think a lot of pressure because he doesn't like fighting off his back foot. It's going to be very important in this fight. But I expect nothing but a banger, man. I've been in plenty of banger fights, and this time I'm gonna have a full camp, and I won't have that same issue that I had this first go around. So this second time around is gonna be a little different, man. I think that he's gonna be a little shocked, and I don't think he'll be able to put me down or even hurt me in that aspect.
Just from what you just said right now, it seems like you've been dissecting His performances, man. And if you look at his last three fights, he's been knocked out. You know, what I mean, he's known for his knockout power, but he's been knocked out
Mhm.
in his last two out of three. So what does that say about him? What do you think?
Um, a well-timed punch is gonna go a long way in this fight. So patience, like I said, man, is gonna be key. It's gonna be like the number one thing, and really baiting his own punches off himself. I've seen that his past fights. He got hit mid combinations, and I think, like I said, that timing and landing that right punch, and it doesn't even have to be hard. I think I'll be able to wobble him. Once I wobble him, I'm just gonna get on top and just really put the brakes on him, man. But I think that hopefully he doesn't overlook me just because I got I had a really upsetting first debut. It was also the first time I did get knocked out of my career though, or even dazed. So that was a unfamiliar feeling, and don't like it. So I'm fixing a lot of holes in my game and making sure it doesn't happen again.
Definitely. Let's rewind back to that. 10 days notice. This is a way for people to enter the UFC. You gotta take your chances. You gotta take your opportunities when they come. And then they give you Jim Miller, man, a fighter that a lot of people, it's like on their bucket list of fighters that they want to fight, but you step in on 10 days notice to fight the guy that everybody wants to fight. You go through fight week for the first time. What was that experience like for you?
Um, dude, I watched Jim Miller since I was like 18. Um, so to me that was insane to be able to fight him. He has like all the greatest under his fight list, and I think eventually he'll see, that I will be one of the greatest, and he can add that to the list as well. If on top of that, what he has, and it was definitely a lot of nerves, man, going into this fight. I was really excited, but that 10-day notice really killed me because I had to cut about a little bit over 24 pounds, and I had 9 days to do it. I mean, technically eight because I got to do the day before weigh-ins. And it was tough, man. I was coming off of a injury, and I fractured my toe. I had a hairline fracture on my toe, so when they called me, I was actually coming back to the gym. That was like my first officially first day back in, and for the next like 8 days, man, I just did nothing but grind, man. Just nonstop cardio, nonstop treadmill work, nonstop drilling. Um, and I think that the weight cut depth, like I said, man, he every time he was punching me, he's a hard hitter, man. Anybody can say whatever they say, but full hits hard, man. Has a really strong left overhand, and he just caught me good, man. Caught me off of going into that second round. I was still dazed leaving the first, and I made a really stupid mistake, and just should have composed myself first before I step back in there, trying to come out swinging and coming out doing what I did.
A lot of learning lessons probably just from the weight cut, like little tweaks that maybe you should have zigged when you zagged in the fight. You know what I mean? Those learning lessons, man. That's what you get from that. And man, I can't wait to see you on a full camp. You know what I mean? Like on like really you know what I mean? Because we've seen you fight in Combate. We've seen you put on some crazy performances, and I think that's what the UFC signed you for is those performances.
Yeah, I think this fight is really trying to test me, man. I think they're trying to test me. They know I'm a banger. I mean, they've seen the footages in the past. Jim Miller. I almost had him knocked out. It was a back and forth fight between me and him, and they definitely, I think, are testing the waters to see if I'm going to perform like I should. And I think that this next fight is just as crucial as it was the first one because it's a pay-per-view. It's a UFC 272. You have Colby and Masvidal on top of a bunch of other fights that are going to be lined up in that, with a lot of eyes watching on that card from the start to the end. And it's going to be a good time and a good moment for me to shine and take the Devonte's spotlight that he has on him right now, and it'll be good to get that leeway and really slingshot myself my way to the top and through the ranks.
And this time, I keep saying full training camp, and you fight out of Fight Science. Have you been splitting
Yes.
your time elsewhere?
Um. Yeah. I just started going Fight Academy, get some sparring in. Besides that, it's mostly just all done at Fight Science, and then I've been going to Golden State for my jiu-jitsu out in Torrance. Uh, but other than that, man, no, not really. I really like to focus on. My coach has a really strong game plan for me, and I trust him, and I'm doing everything I have to do to make it, to make myself the best fighter I can be. And nothing else really needs to be added, man. I got everything I need right now, and if I did, I definitely would add it without a doubt. I definitely added more boxing, but through my own gym and through my coach, and working more with a striker in my camp, who's one of my teammates, and it's been helping a lot, man. So it's going to be a lot of improvements and a lot of different, you know, uh, changes that you're going to see in my style of fighting.
Your head coach, I believe, Ian Harris, that's his name, right?
Yes.
Yes, and
Hmm.
he's been with you from almost the beginning. And
Yeah.
how important is it to have someone like a mentor like that, man, from the start, that's gonna ride with you, die with you, you know what I mean, from and then teach you at the same time as you go.
It's really important, man. He could either mentally bring me down or he can mentally bring me up, and he's always mentally bringing me up. So coach has a his words can mean a lot to people, to us athletes. Especially when the coach means a lot to you, and you've looked up for him and whatever. Just like you said, uh, so whatever he says, and it will affect me in my fight if it's in said incorrectly. We talk it out. We set it to the side, and that's what makes our relationship so different. I can tell him, hey, I don't need this. Hey, I don't need that. This is what we need to work on, or and then he has the right to tell me, no, man, this is what we're doing. And at the end of the day, it's his game plan is usually what wins my fights. If I fall out of the game plan, it usually ends up being a very iffy fight. So as I get older and I've gotten wiser, and I've had a lot of experience now in fighting. Um, it makes it better to have that type of relationship with my coach.
Yeah, the trust is built right there, throughout the years, right? And the performances too. Um, Devonte Smith, man, all his losses are by knockout. How do you see yourself getting the victory?
I see the TKO, man, going into the second round. I really think he's going to try to put me out in the first, and that's going to be a big mistake on his on his end. I'm not going to be the same fighter I was that first time around. I'm definitely going to be putting it, letting it be known, that I'm not this dude with the glass chin, because I definitely got some messages out there in comments that I saw. We all see it, and that's not the case, man. So I think that he's gonna have a lot of trouble with me, and then once he realizes that this isn't gonna be a one round fight, he's gonna start to cave in slowly, and I'll probably end up just taking him to the ground and just throwing elbows in his face.
All right, now a couple questions outside of the fight. You used to work or you used to run a Mexican restaurant. I found this out with your mom for a few years. How was
Mhm.
that? How was the restaurant life? And were you like the unofficial security slash enforcer?
I was more like manager, cook, server, busser. I did it all, man. If someone was acting out of hand, we did have a couple weird guys that would come in there because my mom is a good looking lady. She looks like my sister. So you'd have a bunch of creepers that would come in there, and I would have to tell them, be like, hey man, you guys, like, it's either gonna eat something or you're gonna stop being weird and just eat and leave. But yeah, I guess more or less you could say that. But running a restaurant was cool, man. It was a Mexican restaurant and it was also Mexican vegan food. So it was a blend of both. And we were the number one spot, I think, going 3 years as a vegan restaurant, a Mexican vegan restaurant. And we ended up having to sell it. My mom got sick, and I just couldn't hold down the hours anymore, man. I was doing it for about like 2 years, waking up every day at 6, getting to the gym at 7:30, and then by the time I get out, it was already 10:30, 11 o'clock. Go straight to the restaurant and be home by like 12 at midnight. So, and I was doing that for quite a while, and it just got super draining. And but it was fun, man. It's just a lot of work, and for what I wanted to do, man, I had to choose between, running a restaurant or doing what I love to do. And, here I am now. I'm in the UFC and doing what I love. So no
Yeah, man.
regrets at all.
Exactly, man. Exactly. If you're doing what you love to do and it took you to where you're at right now, man, you made the right choice. Well, that's the advice to everybody is try to shoot for what you love to do, you know what I mean? Because you never know where it's
Absolutely.
going to take you. Um
Oh, absolutely.
and you mentioned the fans earlier, man. MMA fans, they could be really passionate, they could be really harsh critics, right?
Oh,
What
yeah.
do MMA fans or just fans in general obsess about too much that fighters don't care about?
Um, that fighters don't care about. That's a tough question, man. Because if a fighter lacks in one area, they're gonna say he doesn't do this enough. So it's like a really huge, broad, area of stuff that you could say. But if it's like me, it's like I kept my hands down. Now they're gonna be like, oh, he doesn't keep his hands up enough. That's usually they're gonna point out your flaws no matter what. And I wouldn't say that there's a specific thing that they would probably bitch about the most because overall it's a pretty fair game as far as every fighter. There's always some sort of lack somewhere. You can't be a perfect fighter or else you just be undefeated.
Yeah, another thing like I would want to bring up to you is that some fans will say fighters are scared, you know what I mean? Like to me, I don't fighters will hear that and be like, "What? Like who would be scared? They fight another man for a living. Like there's no scared in fighters, man." You know what I mean?
um, no, I know exactly what you mean. It's good to be scared as a fighter. If you're not scared, man, like it's really hard to believe if you're not scared. I'm always have some sort of fear going into my fight. I'm always thinking about me getting knocked out. Like every fight I've gone into, I'm always like, damn, what if I just get knocked the fuck out cold, or what if I just get finished like this or submitted within this? Like, there's always going to be that some sort of fear, but that's what's going to help you focus in the fight. That's going to help you make. That's what makes you you as a fighter. If you come in there fearless, you're going to make it's either you're gonna make a mistake because you think you have the best chin in the world, and all of a sudden you get clocked once, and all of a sudden, boom, you're out cold. But it's good to have fear, man, in a fight. There's nothing wrong with that. It's gonna make you a better. It's gonna make you a better fighter, and you're only human, man. The only person you should truly fear is yourself, and that's if you don't do what you got to do to get there.
Yeah, I think the definition of like fear or being scared is different with fighters compared to like people that are just watching it from the outside in, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And PTSD, right, in combat sports, like I talk to fighters about this a lot, and I just wanted to pick your brain about it. Sometimes they have really bad weight cuts, and they're like they get PTSD from like the sauna or like the hot and cold bath, the ice baths. Sometimes they get into these wars, you know what I mean, and or they get a bad injury and they get PTSD from that. Have you ever experienced this and overcame it or seen it around you?
Dude, I actually had PTSD on a little PTSD on this last weight cut. That hot sauna, man, that little freaking thing where you sit in your room. And I could I the first night that I started cutting weight, I cut 6 pounds, and after that 6 pounds, my body wouldn't cut any more weight. So I like tried to get out, and then I went back in the same night, the day before, my last fight. The same night we tried to cut twice, all the weight, and then my body just wouldn't cut. And then it got to the point where I was sitting in the sauna, and then like a huge heat flash just hit me, man. And I was like, I fucking got up and I stood up and I was like, fuck this thing, dude. I'm not fucking sitting in this thing another minute. And I hate the sauna, man. I'm not a sauna fan at all. So that's why I usually try to make my weight cuts as easy as possible. I usually only cut about 6 pounds of water, and that's like me running a 3 mile run in my sauna suit, which makes it easier. But yeah, man, I hate the sauna, man. That sauna, something about rest stepping. Like if I go to a gym and my friends are all in the sauna, I'm like, oh, I'm good, bro. You guys go do your thing. Like I'll go sit in the hot tub. I prefer that over the sauna any day, man. That heat, like that dry air, just like even like the smell of being in there, just like it fucking irks the shit out of me.
Yeah, there's that unique smell in the sauna, right? That rock smell when you pour the
Yep.
water on it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I see that steam and I'm just like, I'm good, man. I fucking hate the sauna so
yeah.
much, man. It's definitely like now I don't like being hot.
Mhm.
Like at home, if I'm too hot, I freak out. I get a little anxious, so I have to get like some ice cubes and I just start eating those just because I just don't like heat anymore.
All right, one last thing, man. Outside of fighting, good or bad, what usually keeps you up at night?
Video games, man.
Oh, all right.
Video games. I'm a fucking big I don't know if you know what Escape from Tarkov is. It's a PC game. It's
Mhm.
like a military realistic game. Like uh Mighty Mouse actually plays it.
Okay.
And a couple other Chase Hooper from UFC also he plays it. Uh Dude, that game can keep me up, bro. Like we play one game, it's like it could either last like 10 minutes or it can last like 40 minutes. And so it's like and then that time goes by so quick, bro, when you're playing a video game. So that's probably the only thing that usually keeps me up, unless I'm like binging something with my fiance on Netflix or something.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, man, gaming, I think that that's a huge avenue for fighters, you know what I mean? It takes up time and also you're growing something,
Mhm.
organically that could probably take you, you don't even know where it could take you. It could bring in
Yeah.
sponsors, it could, you probably have your own channel going on, you know what I mean? Like that stuff will grow. You see Mighty Mouse, he's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah. He actually he had heard a funny story about how he had a fight in UFC once. He was streaming, got off, took his fight, got home, and then restreamed, turned on like nothing happened. And I was just like, that's fucking badass, man. I'm like, I'm
Uh,
gonna need to get a laptop, so like get a sponsor, get a laptop, so like when I'm on the
mm,
road or whatever, just I can just pull out my laptop and just chill on my computer,
mm,
because half the time my boys are all on there, and we just having that like relaxation time would be nice.
for sure. Eric, March 5th, UFC 272. Have a good luck on the rest of the camp, man. You got a couple weeks still left, and good luck on the fight. And we'll talk again later this year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much, brother.